man.
Can it be?
What's up, my brother?
It's all good. Happy Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, good to be here again. Uh,
Always.
had some pretty exciting fights over the weekend. We're going to talk to all you folks out there in the audience.
Yep.
Uh, and you're more than welcome. Please give us a call.
Yep.
The official call show here. You can call in now. The number, the link to join is in the description below. And Kenny and I are waiting and willing to talk to you about all of the things that went on over the course of the weekend. He had some good fights.
We did have some good things. And I guess we'll start with Teddy. The we had this great, I pronounce this name and feature
Well, you know what? There was three different fights uh, uh, over the weekend that the first one that we want to talk about is this fight between Milas and Shala, which was a barn burner. Let me tell you. And we're also going to talk about Matias versus this kid Dalton Smith out of the UK. Let me tell you, that was a fight that folks will really definitely want to see. And we also going to talk about Rocha and Curiel, who um, was an interesting fight with some interesting outcomes. So we want to invite all of you folks out there, all you fans. You can call into the show right now. You can join in the conversation today. So call in. The information is in the description below. I'm waiting on my guest host, Kenny Bayless, to pop into the show. But in the meantime,
Hello?
we're going to talk about.
I don't know how this works. I've always done the other ones. Like I can't hear you guys. Um,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now. That's
Ah,
perfect.
okay, great. Now, who are you and who are you calling from?
Well, my real name is Luis Roman. I was born in Philadelphia. Right now, I'm calling from California. And I was
Hey,
raised.
I'm an old Cali boy myself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, man, I want to get out of here, bro.
Well,
Get out.
I did.
No, but you know what? I just saw you guys in my live feed, or I'm not the live feed, but the YouTube, the news
Mhm.
feed, whatnot, and I didn't even know you guys had a podcast. So I hit that subscribe button. Much respect to you guys. You guys have been in the game for like ever, right? Like you guys have what, over 20 years in the boxing game?
More than that, closer to 40.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, you guys are legends, man. I appreciate you taking my call. I'm definitely gonna be tuning in a lot more. Obviously, now that I know that you guys got a channel, you guys have witnessed and pretty much you know been in the big fight and been in a lot of big fights. So I recognize you know both of your names, and then I was looking through, and I was gonna question. So did you guys retire? You guys are done with as far as refereeing in boxing?
Well, I have retired from the ring, but I currently am still in the business. I'm doing a instant replay. Nevada was one of the boxing commissions that really fleshed this thing out and said that, you know what, we've got instant replay in practically every other sport. Tennis, volleyball, football, basketball, why not boxing? And it's certainly been an honor to do this because there's been some questionable things that happen in the ring, and by the use of instant replay, we got it right, and the right fighters won. So uh, that's what I'm doing now. Still very active in the game.
Good,
Kenny,
good, good.
on the other hand, my co-host, he has retired, and this past June of last year, uh, he received the ultimate honor in boxing. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota, New York, and it doesn't get any better or higher than that.
Right, right. Yeah, man. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm definitely gonna tune in. I just want to thank you guys for being one of the greatest in the sport of boxing. It's like I was just saying how, because I know you guys are gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna let you guys talk about it, and just gonna listen on YouTube. But I was just thinking to myself, and I'm telling people, the referee for the Matias and Dalton fight, it looked like he wasn't getting the respect that we normally see for a referee. I don't know if you caught that. Like, he was telling them to break and this and that, and he had to grab their attention. Man, I'm gonna let you guys talk about it. But yeah, man, I'm glad that you guys are doing this on your as a hobby, as your passion, and for the love of the sport, man. So I thank you so much. There's a lot of fools out there that don't know what they're talking about, but you guys are the veterans, and you guys are the pros, the Hall of Famers. So thank you so much for definitely starting a podcast and doing your own thing. And I love it.
Listen. While you're on, did you see the Dalton Smith fight?
Yeah, I did. I ordered the pay-per-view. I'm from Puerto Rico also.
Uh huh.
Puerto
Okay.
Rican.
What
So
what did
I
you
wanted
think? What
Matias
did you
to
think
win
about
so
that
bad,
fight?
man. But you know what? Dalton Smith proved that he's a better boxer than Matias. Matias left him a huge window. And he threw his hands. He threw that 1-2, and he didn't hesitate to throw that 1-2 again. And that was what she wrote, man.
Well, it's we while reviewing this fight, you know, all I could say to myself is this is a fight that you love
Mhm.
because they were fighting. This is what
Right.
this is what people want to see in a especially in a title fight, a world title fight, uh, because they let me tell you, both of them both of them were throwing monster shots, Uh,
Yeah.
and like I said, Matias, I know Matias quite well because I did his first loss, the first fight that he lost.
Oh,
I refereed that fight, so I'm very very familiar with him, and he is a consummate professional. He's a total package. He just got caught, and
yeah.
that's one of the things that happens in this business. You know, it only takes one punch to turn it around, and that certainly happened here. But all props to Mr. Smith, right?
Yeah, of course. He did what he had to do. He wasn't scared to throw them hands,
Uh
And
huh.
once he saw that mid range, man, those four punches landed flush. He hurt him,
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Kenny,
I'm
what you?
gonna go ahead and tune in, and I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and put in that work.
All right. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. And all the callers out there, you can call into the show right now and join in the conversation. You can call in. The information is in the description below. So, Kenny, what do you think about that fight, man? Turn on your mic, Kenny. But anyway, like I said, this fight lived up to all of the pre-fight expectations from both Mr. Smith. He was aggressive right from round one. He started out taking the
Okay.
fight to Matias.
Okay.
There
Can you
you
hear me
go.
now?
I
Okay,
can hear
good,
you
good,
now.
good.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, because I want to comment on this fight
Well, come on with it.
in several ways because I thought that Dalton Smith came out just a little bit stronger. And what I mean by that is that I felt that Dalton was throwing more punches than what Matias was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't, counting it with a clicker or anything like that, just visually watching it. But I just felt that Dalton was throwing more and landing more. And like you said, it was very, very highly, highly competitive. Now, our caller that just called in mentioned about a few times, and I noticed it as well. Ricky Gonzalez, who was the referee, there were a couple of times he was asking for a break, and they were still kind of throwing a punch or two after it,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no harm done, though they were doing it. Uh, for us referees, we want to always stay on top of everything for the sake of having something happening crazy that could change or alter the fight in any way. But it happened a few times. Ricky, the referee, stopped them and admonished both of them about doing it. And I think from the third or fourth round on, you didn't see it anymore. So he took care and
Yeah.
did his business.
Right. Right.
He did his business.
Yeah.
But
Did.
but but the part leading up to me, because like you said, it was very competitive. Uh, uh, these guys wasn't holding back nothing. And in the round that Matias happened to go down, uh,
The fifth
uh,
round. Yeah.
in the fifth round,
Mm-hmm.
Dalton, uh, I counted two clear right hands
Mm-hmm.
back to back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was a little pause in his action, and then he threw another right hand. Well, when a fighter can get hit, get touched with the same punch back to back, that says something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you get hit once with it, but then the next time he throws it, you're kind of anticipating it. Well, you hope that they're anticipating it so you don't get hit with the shot again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah.
And then there was a follow up behind that. And then that's when he ultimately went down. And at
Yeah.
that point in time, the fight was over.
Yeah. Well, it was a back and forth. This was, what we often talk about. The people who pay for these fights getting a quality product. Well, let me tell you something. This was
Yes.
a quality product because
Yes.
these young gentlemen, they started fighting, and I don't know what Dalton Smith's mentality was, but I know what his actions were. Okay, and his action was,
Yeah.
I'm aggressive. I'm gonna be an alpha male. I'm gonna take this fight to him.
Yeah.
And that's what he did right from the very beginning. It
Yeah.
was very competitive that first round, and I
Yes.
think he easily won it. Round two, yeah, as happens with good fighters, round two, you started to
Yeah.
see a little shift. Start to see a little
Yeah.
shift. By round
Yes.
three, by round three, Smith was getting out punched. He was getting
Yeah.
out punched. He was getting Matias was coming on, and
Mm-hmm.
you could understand that because Dalton Smith started clenching. He
Yeah.
started holding. As a
Yes.
matter of fact, Ricky had to warn him a couple of times. Hey, you're holding.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when fighters start to do that, the tide has started to turn, and this tide has
Yes.
started to turn here.
Yeah.
But and Matias, I thought was really starting to come on, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe because he was starting to come on and become a little bit more aggressive. That's what because when you are very aggressive, you got to be careful not to being so offensive. You got to be careful that you don't give up your defense. And I think
Right.
that's exactly what happened here because he
Yeah.
started to get his rhythm. He started to get in his rhythm, starting to be more aggressive, and sometimes when you overly aggressive, you kind of forget that
Yes.
defense. And that defense is what I think caused him here because he got caught with, like you said, a couple of good right hands. And there was no
Yes.
question that the punches were clean, you know?
Clean. Clean.
Yeah. And he went down and uh, the referee did what he was supposed to do. He counted.
Right.
Uh, and Ricky's very good. He's a very very good young
Yes,
referee,
he is. Yes,
and
he is.
he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was evaluating Matias all the way down and all the way back up, and whatever he saw in his face let
Yeah.
him know that that's it, you know.
Yes.
And so he took the step to stop the fight, even though Matias had gotten up and beaten the count. And sometimes people don't understand that it's a mandatory 8 count. You get that 8 count, and that 8 count for the referee is a opportunity to evaluate and assess whether or not if I let this fight continue, you're going to be able to intelligently defend yourself. And
Yeah.
that's what we're doing when we're doing that count. And whatever he saw during the course of that count prompted him that um, Matias probably wouldn't be able to intelligently defend himself if he allowed the fight continue.
Right. Right. Well, we just had a caller text in, and he pretty much ditto what you just said in reference to the fight, how it started. After the fourth round, he the caller thought that the fight was even. He gave 2 rounds to Matias, 2 rounds to Dalton Smith, and then the caller then added to that by saying that after the fifth round was he thought that Matias pretty much won the fifth round,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to touch base just quickly on how Dalton Smith would he would kind of hook on a hole like a clinch, and because there was a free hand, Ricky just let them fight and work their way out,
Which you,
and
which you legally you can do.
and legally what you can do. But I thought that Dalton Smith was using that to his advantage
Mm-hmm.
because he would hook, they would still throw punches, and then at the time he felt that it was to his advantage, then he would loosen up and let Matias pull his hand out, but at the same time he's throwing punches. So
Yeah.
there's an art to that where you can lock up, throw, and then let loose and continue to
Mm-hmm.
throw.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, it was a tremendously good fight up to that point.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Definitely a good fight. Again, a fight that the paying audience pays to
Yeah,
see, and they definitely got their money's worth in this one, even though it only went 5 rounds.
yeah,
And it again says to all you folks out there that no matter how the fight starts, what's going on midway through the fight, it's
hmm,
always one punch away. It's always
that's
one
right.
punch away from the end, uh,
Yes,
because both of these guys were really throwing some really good shots. Both of
yeah,
them exhibited a strong chin, Uh,
Yes.
but but when that punch, that one particular punch lands, and it landed in. If you look at the fight, it landed right on the chin, and
Yes.
this is where, you get That's where you get punches that knock you out. Because a lot of
Yes.
times you get a punch high up on the head, up around the temple, and it doesn't do it. If you want to knock somebody out, you hit them on
Yeah.
that chin, because that
Yes.
causes the head to sort of snap around a little bit,
Yeah.
and it was perfect. It was a perfect right hand to the
Yeah.
chin, and that was it. You know,
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah. And
great fight. Great fight.
it was a great fight. It's interesting because we talked about this fight last week. And we talked about it because we were able to see a few of their previous fights,
Hmm.
and we were able to see what each Matias and Dalton was bringing to the fight,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you know that Smith being undefeated.
yeah.
I always got my things about undefeated fighters and how they present themselves, especially not wanting to lose that O. And
Hmm.
you know the saying, somebody's always got to go. But the only difference in this fight is that Matias had already had two losses,
Hmm.
but Matias has had uh, uh, 20, I think 22 knockouts
Yeah. Well,
in his career.
yeah, well, like I said, I'm very familiar with him because I refereed his first loss, and but
Yeah,
in that fight, and even in that fight, he was winning. He was winning the
yeah,
fight up to that point. Up to the point
right.
that he got, that he got tagged, and it, that's his nature, is to be aggressive, and
Yeah.
that can take you a long way. But every now and then, every now and then, it's not enough. We got a comment says, as a ref, when
Yeah.
do you guys ask fighters to walk left or right or touch their gloves as you ask them if they want to continue? Do you think in the 90s or the 2000s it would have been stopped? Uh, Probably not. In there,
Right.
uh,
Right.
uh, and just to give folks a little bit of background on why we do that now. Uh, the New York State Athletic Commission had a fight that there was a lot of things done in that fight that perhaps should not have been done.
Hmm.
And because of that, uh, New York State Athletic Commission started to look at how they dealt with certain things and began to implement some things that would, in essence, make the game safer. Okay.
Hmm.
And one of the things that they implemented was to ask the fighter, move over here, you move over there. And it was opposed when it first started, because they were saying, my God, you just gave this guy 8 seconds to get up. Now you're gonna have him walk over here. Now you're gonna have him walk over there, and you're giving him more time. But what they fail to understand is that ultimately our job as referees is to ensure not that folks don't take damage, but that they don't take unnecessary damage. Our other job is to ensure that we do everything possible to to allow that fight to go to its natural end. It's a
Hmm.
natural flow to a fight, to take it to its natural end. But more than anything, we are concerned with and responsible for the safety of that fighter. So those things that we're doing are all to, exactly as someone just called in to say, help those fighters go home to their families healthy.
Exactly. And not only that, the flip side of the coin, Birdman, when you mentioned about having a fighter referees having them step to the left or step to the right or come forward to us. Yes, we're analyzing them. The sad part is that the media will sometimes refer to that as a lone count. And
Hmm.
and I've heard the media say, "Oh, well, the referee gave him a lone count." No, we didn't give him a lone count. We're just making sure that if we decide to let this fight continue, that this fighter is capable of doing that.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing, Kenny, that obviously we're doing is we want to see if that fighter is can follow our instructions. Walk to the
Yes,
left. If he can
yes,
follow what we're asking him to do or her to do, then we know that that person is conscious enough to do what it is they need to do when they go back to start fighting again. In other
exactly.
words, we're looking for them to tell us, "I'm okay, ref. I'm okay. I can go on." Okay,
Yes,
and
yes,
we in that moment as referees, either we agree with you or we won't agree with you.
right.
Okay.
Exactly, exactly. And again, the bottom line is about safety. The
Mhm.
bottom line is that we don't need this fighter after going down to take anything other than that. It reminds me of a fight, Birdman, that I did with Sugar Shane Mosley and Fernando Vargas. And I think it was the fifth round. Fernando Vargas went down from I believe it was a right hand from Sugar Shane Mosley, and when Vargas got up, I could tell he was still a little shaky.
Mhm.
Now this was a rematch because in their first fight, um, Vargas had received a, a hematoma on his forehead, and it had swelled up so bad that they had to stop the fight.
Mhm.
And in doing so, the question was it a punch? Was it a headbutt? So they rematched it. So
Mhm.
a lot of heat was being brought on the rematch. So anyway, when Fernando got up, I was in question on if he was 100%. But he answered all the questions. When I asked him, "Are
Yeah.
you okay?" He
Yeah.
answered them and asked him he was okay. So I let it go. But the thing
Mhm.
that I did different, and this is good for a lot of you young referees out there, is that I stayed close to the action as soon as I said that they could fight. And as soon as Sugar Shane came out and he threw his first combination, and I could see that Fernando could not defend himself, then I stopped it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I
And
stopped it.
sometimes, yeah, and sometimes these fighters, they are fighters. You know,
Yes,
they are fighters, and a lot of times they we have to save them from themselves
yes,
because I'm going to go out on my shield and all of those things, and we
yeah,
understand that because
yes,
that's what they are. They're fighters. But
yeah,
our responsibility is the safety of that fighter so that they
yes,
can go home to their family
yes,
reasonably
yes,
healthy, so they can, be okay for another payday down the road, uh,
exactly.
so that they can have a healthy life after they retire. Those
Yes,
things, those things trump anything that
yes,
is looked at otherwise. Those things trump
exactly.
all of that, you know.
Yes,
And as referees, especially you young referees out there, that's something you should keep in mind because it's a tough job. Being a referee in combat sports is the toughest job of officiating that exists out there
yes,
because every time you step in the ring or you step in that cage, you have someone's life in your hands. And that
yes.
is serious business.
Serious business, and we got a few texts coming in from some of our callers, and they're thanking us for what we do. They're thanking us for being the third man in the ring for the sake of safety. because, like the Birdman said, this is their career. This is something that they've chose to do,
Mhm.
and they don't need to go out on their shield. Not by our eyes. They
Mhm.
need to be saved before that happens,
Right.
because there's always another day. There's always another day,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
longer you can last in this game, the better. The
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Um,
that we have comment the craziest KO I saw in my life was Zab Judah and Costa Zoo. We were all surprised about how it went down. What really stood out in that fight was that uh, Zab Judah, I think, went after the referee with a stool. If you recall that, Jay Nady,
yes.
because he was
Yes.
that upset. He was that
Yes.
upset that we had stopped the fight. But the fact of the matter is, the reason why he stopped the fight was because he was getting beat. Well,
Yes.
so
Yeah. Uh, yes.
it's a challenge. It's a
And
challenge.
that knockdown, if Zab Judah had a not tried to have gotten up as quick as he did,
Uh huh.
is when then he did the little crazy leg stumble thing,
Hmm.
and then that's when Jay stopped it. If
Yeah.
he would have just stayed on a knee, let the count get to 7 or 8, and collect himself,
Hmm.
then it could have been a different outcome. But
Yeah.
to jump up right away, Birdman, you remember back in the day when there wasn't a mandatory 8 count, when a fighter got hit and went down, if he got up at 3, he had to be ready to fight.
That's right. That's
If
right.
he got up at 6, he had to be ready to fight.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
corner man would always motion to them to stay down and get up at 8 or 9,
Yeah.
as opposed to getting up at 1 or 2 or 3,
Yeah.
because it gives you more time to collect yourself.
Yeah. And back in the day, if you recall, as soon as that referee went over there and said one, the other fighter was standing over you. He was standing
That's
over
right.
you. Okay, and
That's right.
he would drop you, man. As soon as the referee stepped out the way, he could hit you.
He could hit
That's
you. You're
one of
right.
the reasons why they implemented that mandatory 8 count to make the game safer. To
To
make
make
the
it
game
safer.
safer. Yeah.
Right, right. And that standing fighter, we send him to a neutral corner.
Right.
He
Right.
he can't stand over the top of the down fighter now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We send him to the neutral corner,
Mhm.
and sometimes they'll get mixed up and they're excited, and they may run over to the blue corner or the red corner, being excited, and you'll see some referees will stop the count and motion for him to get over there before
Yeah.
they continue the count, because
Yeah.
a part of that is a part of the instructions that
Hmm.
we give them in the dressing room.
Yep. 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 So bottom line is that everything that we do as referees is for the betterment, number one, of the sport, the safety of the fighters, and uh, and as everything evolves. Okay, there was a time when championship fights was 15 rounds. Now they're 12 rounds. Okay, there
Yes.
was a time when there wasn't a standing 8 count. Now there is. Everything evolves because as you go through it and you look at what the officials and the not the officials, the athletes go through. How
Yes.
can we make this game better while still allowing it to be entertainment? And
Yes.
so that's what we do. Now
Yeah.
there was another fight. There was another fight over the weekend that uh, caused a lot of controversy, and that controversy was linked to
Mm-hmm.
the referee in the fight
Yes.
between I think it was Milas and Shala.
Shala. Milas and
Yeah,
Shala. Yeah.
uh, there was a good series of punches. The fight was pretty competitive. Uh, um, uh, I think Shala was showing some really good success over the course of the fight. I think Milas was clearly winning the round when he got dropped.
Yeah.
And that's when all of the controversy started. So,
Yeah.
you might want to comment on that a little bit, Kenny, and then I'll
Yeah.
piggyback on you.
Yeah. Well, I thought that it was a competitive fight. I thought each fighter had their little turn as far as what they were delivering and receiving. But the key thing, going back to the referee, and uh, in our seminars, we do things to try to keep everybody on the same page.
Mhm.
And um, when a fighter goes down, and I remember this in our seminars, it's the same thing with you, Birdman. When a fighter goes down, I try to get eye level to him
Mhm.
so that I'm making sure that I'm not missing anything,
Mhm.
as opposed to standing up and counting.
Mhm. Yeah.
But the key thing is, when a fighter is hurt, we all want to recognize that that fighter is hurt. And from the video, I could see that he was hurt.
Mhm.
Even um, Milas kind of motioned about stopping the fight.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's something I know I've never liked it, Bird, when a fighter is doing that, because it appears that he's telling me what to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I've got to do things the way I see it. But anyway, when he got hit, it I could see that was probably it for him,
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
and it needed to be stopped. And apparently, the corner threw the towel in, but when the corner threw the towel in, the referee didn't see it because it was on his backside.
Mhm. Right. Mhm.
So he continued to count, and then once he got to 8, he stopped it
Mhm.
anyway.
Yeah.
But the controversy that's being brought up is, why, why was he counting on the after the second knockdown? He should have just stopped it, because it was clear that he was
Mhm.
couldn't continue. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
it's kind of a
you know,
tough one. Kind of a tough one.
yeah, it's tough, and and the controversy with this guy, he should be investigated. What he's a horrible, and the truth of the matter is that we don't know what this referee's pedigree was. We don't know at what level he was. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
what they talking? This was a fight of this magnitude. Well, this was a minor title fight. This wasn't a major world title fight.
right,
Okay, but the bottom line is, we as referees, we don't care about any of that, because a four
right.
round fight for us is just as important as a world championship fight. Okay,
Yes,
because
yes,
things can happen in a 4 round fight, things can happen in a 12 round fight. But the bottom
yes,
line is that this referee, and I would never, because I was the referee, and I would never, and I will never badmouth a referee.
right.
What I will say is that there were things that occurred within this fight that may have been handled differently.
Yes,
And were they handled differently, then perhaps the outcome would have been different.
yeah,
That's true of practically any sport.
yeah,
We've had football games and basketball games, baseball games, where the entire crew, not just one official, but the entire crew, was criticized for their handling of that game,
yeah,
calls in that game. Uh, this, and I've said this 100 times, as a referee, once you step through that rope, there's no place to hide.
right.
You're on display for the world to see. You
Yes,
are what we say in the truck. You are the sole arbiter. You're the
yes,
one that's responsible from that from the time that bell rings to the time that fight is over with, however it ends, you're responsible for whatever happens in there as a
Right.
referee. Okay.
Yes.
Now, yes, some things could have been done differently. Positioning is critical.
Yes.
And I've said that. If you're going to be an official in any sport, the number
Yes.
one thing you got to be familiar with is the rules. Okay, the
Yes.
rules of that particular sport. And the second thing that's critically important is your positioning, so that you're
Yes.
in the right position to see what you need to see, to make the decision that you need to make at the time that it needs to be made, in the way that it needs to be made.
Yes.
All of those things go together. Okay. Yes, there are things that he could have done. You're not going to be in the best position, even as we practice it. We're never going to be in perfect position all the time.
Right.
Now, he didn't see that towel because his back was turned
Right.
to them. Okay. But what I don't know is that the corner wasn't saying, ref, stop it.
Right. Right.
And we don't know that. We don't know that that didn't happen. Okay. All we can go by is what we saw. And what we saw is that they were throwing the towel in the ring while the referee's back was turned. He was focusing on the fighter. Now, here's something that's very important. No matter what's going on out there, the referee's job and focus has to be on that fighter.
Yes.
His focus is on that fighter and trying to evaluate whether or not this fighter is going to be capable of intelligently defending himself if I
Yes.
allow this fight to go on. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I think a lot of people missed.
Yeah.
That's what they missed. Okay. And that, there's a comment that said, fact, referee is just as much under pressure as the fighter. And that's true.
It
It's
is
certainly
true.
true. Okay.
Yes.
The difference is that we as referees, well, it's not really different. I was going to say the difference is that we as referees uh, have to learn how to handle that pressure and deal with it. Well, the same is true for the fighters. You know, when they get under pressure, they got to learn how to handle it. So it's the
Right.
same for both of us. So thank you,
Yeah.
caller, whoever made that comment. It was a
Yeah.
solid comment. We appreciate it. But
Yeah.
the bottom line again is that uh, the referee's focus has to be on that fighter. And yes, there were some things that occurred within this fight that could have been done differently. And perhaps if had they been done differently, then
Hmm.
the fight may have gone a different way, or some other things might not have been issues
Yeah.
if they were
Yeah.
done. But again, we don't know the pedigree of this official. We don't
No.
know if this was his first title fight.
Right.
We don't know that. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about this fighter and his handling of this fight.
Yeah.
Uh, Bottom line is that it was stopped. It
It.
was
It.
stopped
It.
on the advice of the corner, which you know is kudos to the corner, because a lot of corners don't do the right thing by trying to
No.
help that fighter.
You're right. A lot of corners may not have had the initiative to even want to stop the fight because of the situation and who he's fighting next or how much money, and the list goes on and on. But
Mhm.
in the state of Nevada, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Birdman, uh, uh, throwing in the towel, I think we've kind of gotten rid of throwing in the towel. If you want the fight stopped, whoever the chief seconds is to take the towel with him and
Mhm.
go into the ring
Yes.
to
Yes.
stop it,
Mhm.
so that now there's no question that you chose and you wanted the fight to be stopped because
Yeah.
uh,
And one
uh,
of the reasons, yeah, and Kenny, not to cut you off, but one of the reasons why we implemented that was that a fan in the audience could throw a towel in the ring, and if you respond to that, you would stop the fight, and You know, that's
It
why
could,
we did it. That's
yes,
why we
yes,
changed it because
yes.
yeah, you can just throw a towel and anybody can throw a towel in the ring.
That's
Okay,
right.
so
That's right.
we eliminated that, and like I said, the game, this game which we love and so beautiful, but it's evolving. It's
Yeah.
evolving. You know
Yes, yes, it
what worked
is.
yesterday might not be working quite so well today, and the
Yes,
difference is listening to the people who say maybe we could do this a little bit better and it would make things a little bit safer.
right.
That's how you move forward in anything,
Yes,
in life,
yes.
and certainly in sports.
And to even add to your point, Birdman, how things change. Yes, take the towel up. Initially, uh, uh, the inspectors would go up and wave it off to the referee to stop the fight. But then we don't know if the corner man says, "I want the fight stopped," and the inspector goes up and do it, and the corner man could change his mind
Hmm.
while he's on his way up the stairs. So now we ask that they take the towel. They start up the stairs first,
Yes.
and the inspector follow them to make sure that that the fight's going to be stopped. And then that
Yeah.
way, there's no controversy anywhere, anyhow.
Yeah. And what your fans should know out there is this: the person who is designated as the chief second,
Yep.
as the chief second, is responsible. We tell them that in the dressing room. Chief second,
Yeah.
you are responsible for the conduct of your corner
Yeah.
and your fighter.
Yeah.
So that person, the chief second, is the one that to make has the responsibility rather to make the critical decisions based upon his corner and his fighter.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
those are things that sometimes fans out there don't know, but now you do know. The reason why we ask, who's the chief second? Well, first thing we do when we go in the judge room is say, who is the chief second? Because that person from that point forward is responsible for the conduct of that corner and the conduct of that fighter.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Now,
So
Kenny, I'm gonna tell
yeah.
you, there was another fight over the weekend, and that was we talk about a barn burner. This was a barn burner. Man, what a fight!
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, from
Yeah.
start to finish, give
Yes.
and take all the way through. This
Yes.
fight between Rocha and Curiel.
Yes. Yeah. They. I can't say that it don't get any better because maybe it can, but like you said, these guys came out and they left it all in the ring. Both Rocha and Curiel,
Yeah,
Raul and
mhm,
Alexa,
yeah.
and they. It was hard for me to pick a winner by round. Those rounds were so close, Birdman, and 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 if I just had to just pick one, just then it would be Raul one round, and then it would be Alexis the next round, and you could just keep flipping because that's just how close those rounds were. I mean,
Yeah,
you couldn't argue the fact. You could look at the tail of the tape and see that Rocha was 27 years old and Raul was 29, and the reach uh, Alexa had a reach of 5 feet
mhm,
2 inches and 5'9" for Raul, and the weight was pretty much the same, 146 pounds, 146 pounds. The reach they both had pretty much had the same reach. So that just that was about as even as you can get as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I, I can't fault the outcome of the scoring, because when you get a split decision, when you got one guy winning one guy winning one round, and the other guy got it even, as opposed to a draw where two judges gave it. We don't know how they got to to the draw, but we know that that's how the numbers tabulated when it got to the end of the fight.
Hmm.
And to have it come out even, I believe the uh, 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 one judge had it 116, 112, and the other two judges had it 114, 114 even. So
Hmm. Yeah.
you really can't argue the fact and weigh on one side or the other, only because the referee that scored it 116, 112 gave it to Raul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he gave it to
it,
Raul.
well, the whole thing about this fight, and this was one hell of a fight. Now, I'm gonna tell you something.
Yes.
I've heard judges say this. This is a fight where you wouldn't want to be a judge because, or you wouldn't want to be a judge. Or if you were a judge in this fight, you'd be hoping, please, somebody get knocked down or knocked out. Uh, Help me to make this decision, because this fight was that way. It was going back and forth. But the
Yeah,
question is, that fight was then. The question is, should there be a rematch? And let me tell you something.
yeah,
My
yeah,
opinion, just based upon what I saw from that first fight, it was a great fight, and and it was a great fight, and it's
yeah,
deserving of a
yeah.
rematch. And
Right.
the scores in that fight I think it was a majority decision first of all, but the scores in that fight, because it was so close, it did mirror what was going on in the ring. So this would be a great rematch, and I'm hoping that uh, we get an opportunity to see rematch, because
Yeah.
this would be really great.
It would be
Matter
really
of fact,
great.
the rematch is this Friday. Uh, yes, the rematch is this Friday, and
The
I'm wanting to see it.
Yes, the rematch is this Friday, and what we reviewed took place some time back.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, some time
yeah,
back that fight took place, and the rematch is, like you said, is this Friday. So,
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I don't know how far back the first fight took place, but they are going to mix it up again, and like you said, tune in on Friday, because you're not
Yeah,
you're not going to
yeah,
be discouraged at all.
yeah. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And callers, you can please call into the show. The numbers in the link below. And Kenny, this is uh this is our second show, I believe, of the new year. And
Hmm.
I just want to say to you that what a joy it was working all of last year with you,
Yes.
looking at some of the great fights, and certainly the year ended with a classic, absolute classic, historical fight with Crawford and Canelo, uh,
Yes.
and all of that. And I'm really looking forward to this year being very invigorating for the sport of boxing. And I say that because I think that people are beginning more and more and more to be more knowledgeable about the game, and in that knowledge, then they are being more circumspect in what they're going to spend their money on. Okay,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing, because what it does, it sends a message to the promoters out there that people are tired of what was the old stuff, and
Yeah.
they want new stuff. And the new stuff is let the best fight the best. Let the fights
Yeah.
be competitive. I think there's an influx of newness coming in with the marriage of Dana White and the Sheik, and
Hmm.
what they're going to be bringing to the table. And there's going to be a lot of interaction, okay,
Yes.
between that basically a new organization aligning itself with all of the old line, the WBC and the IBF, the WBO and the WBA,
Hmm.
the sanctioning bodies, with this new kid in town, so to speak. Uh,
Right.
so I can see that 2026, um, 2026 can be a year of, and I just came up with this. Can be 2026 can be the year of the fix in boxing. Okay.
Right.
Because I think a lot of good things are going to happen because uh, people are just tired of the same old thing. They want the new stuff, you know.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
the new stuff is definitely going to be something that's going to be on the table in 2026, and I'm really looking forward to that. I really am.
Right. Well, there was just a text that came in. If our producer can put it back on the screen, I'd like to read it. But yes, it is. I'm very happy for Crawford. He did boxing a favor. 168 is interesting. I also like the 154 and the 140. Right now, those are my three favorites, but I enjoy all difference,
The
I guess
different
is what.
divisions, yeah, yeah.
Okay, all the different divisions.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, caller, we thank you for texting in and expressing how you feel. Birdman, I want to say for 2025, I believe we started airing in 2025. I believe it was in March.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are through. Have gotten through this year, and we're starting out in the new year. And I'm looking for better conversations, better fights. I'm just looking for anything that's going to enhance the sport of boxing
Yes.
because uh, uh, Usyk, I still respect him as a heavyweight, but we know in time he's going to have to cash in because Father Time will catch up to him. And you mentioned about this new kid on the block. That's what the fans will be looking for. Not
Yeah.
only him, there could be some fighters out there right now that we don't even know about or have not even heard yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we haven't, at some point we will,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're going to shine just like the guy before them did, and before you know it, it's going to be their turn.
Oh
So,
yeah. Well, it's going to
so
be a great year, Kenny. It's going to be a great year. There's a lot of talent out there, and like
yes,
the man, those divisions he talked about, yeah, they are there. But there's a lot of talent out there in all the divisions, and that's going to
yeah,
make for, I think, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful year. But
yes,
right now, want to thank all you guys out there for watching the official call live today. We do this. We go live once a week, usually on Monday, and we invite you to continue to call in, continue your comments. Please continue to support not only the sport of boxing, but our podcast. And Kenny, as
we
I
we
always say, I tend to say, let's do this, but you always give the command.
and the command is what I say you must obey.
Well, there you go.